Good day to you, PokeMoshPit. My name is Tommy, or Pyrotoz if you like, and today I'm bringing you a battle against a guy by the name of HollywoodUndead from the Smogon Wi-Fi Battle Finder. Now, if you look at this team preview here, why is it that Flareon is that much smaller than Leafeon? As if he didn't have enough of an inferiority complex as it is. Anyway, he's going to go ahead and get straight into the battle here. Now, his team looks very physically based. I think the only special attacker he has is Flareon, which is more than likely going to be a special wall anyway, so... You know, the special wall I bought in this game is camera up, so I can't really see it being too much use against his team. I mean, I guess it does threaten out a couple of his, but mine's defensively based, so it probably doesn't even have Earth Power, to be honest. Honestly, don't remember. Now, I'm going to give Turn out on the first turn because I figured he might want to go into his Bastiodon, but at the same time, I didn't really feel like risking it and going for the Drill Run. Now, Drill Run is a pretty unique move on Fearow. I think it's only Fearow and Drillbur and Excadrill that actually get it. Maybe something else, but it's a pretty unique move. It's 80 base power, 95 accuracy, and high critical hit ratio, which pairs up pretty nicely with its sniper ability, so that's kind of the one thing that sets Fearow apart from the rest of the kind of multitude of normal flying types in the NU tier. So anyways, not really too much going on here except a lot of switching, and I do finally get my rocks here as he brings in Sork. I switch out fearing Earthquake from Sork, but he pulls a double switch, goes into his Bastiodon, which was a pretty good play because now he has the free opportunity to get up his rocks, whereas before I was kind of holding him back with Cassandra here, just trying to taunt him whenever he gets the chance to set up his rocks. Now, what I kind of like doing recently is using either Mischievous or Gardevoir as kind of a lead Pokemon in the NU tier. They both get access to Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, and, you know, some other kind of trickery, shenanigans kind of moves, like, I guess they both get Trick, I imagine, and I know they both get Destiny Bond, so it's pretty good. Now, here I kind of didn't really realise that Swordsbuck does actually get Baton Pass, and as soon as I see the Baton Pass, I know what's coming out, you know what's coming out, it's Rampardos. And now we have a more than likely Choice Scarf Rampardos with +4 attack and one of the highest attack stats in the game, if not the highest. Don't remember, Deoxys probably has more, but it's going to do a lot of damage, put it that way. And I really wanted to go to Mothim here to take the Earthquake, but I thought, no, just in case he does go for Fire Punch or whatever, I'm going to stay in with Gardevoir. Because I thought that by tracing the Sturdy ability from earlier, I would live the attack, but, you know, obviously he has the Mold Breaker ability, so that renders Sturdy completely irrelevant. So down goes Gardevoir. Not really a huge loss though, because I do have, you know, 2 flying types to take the Earthquake, because I do know he's now Choice Scarfed. My Gardevoir is max speed, max HP, so he has to be. Now I'm going to go ahead and set up a Quiver Dance, which wasn't really the best play because the rocks are still up, and, you know, not only does it break my sash, brings me down to around about half health, so, you know, I can't really do much with Mothim now. I don't know why I don't have an odd number of HP on my Mothim. Probably should fix that. Now I'm going to go for a Bug Buzz here because Mothim does have the Tinted Lens ability, so, you know, ironically enough, Bug Buzz was technically my strongest move to go for there. I don't have Hidden Power Ground or whatever, and, you know, I guess I could have gone for the flinches on the Air Slash, but I thought, whatever, cut my losses, go for a Bug Buzz, and just kind of go from there, really. Now, I'm going to go for a Rapid Spin just because those rocks are going to be pretty bad for my team in general. I got Absol, who has the Focus Sash, who often relies on that, to be honest, actually getting up a Home Claws and, you know, going sweep from there. It's the same Home Claws Absol I showed you guys in the last gameplay. Home Claws, Mega Horn, Stone Edge, and Sucker Punch, which is actually one of my favourite sets to run in this tier. Now, I'm going to go ahead and switch to Camera Up tier. I assume he predicts that because it goes to Sork, and, you know, Sork is pretty infamous for carrying the Earthquake. So I'm going to go back to Wartortle here just to sponge it. Wartortle and Mischievous are 2 of the only really reliable counters of Sork I've actually found in this tier. It pretty much destroys everything else. Now, he kind of gets the idea that I probably am choiced in some way here, namely the Choice Scarf, so, you know, he protects it just to scout what I'm going to do. I have confidence that Leafeon would take a Drill Peck anyway, but, you know, I guess it's good for him to get the leftovers recovery anyway, get the scouting stuff going on. Now I'm going to go to Camera Up here, just because you know, obviously Camera Up can threaten out Leafeon. Gonna go for a Yawn here just to hopefully rack up some rocks damage on whatever, try and force the switch. Now, I don't know if he thought that protecting would protect him from the Yawn or not, but maybe he just thought, oh well, Leafeon's probably going to be the sleep fodder, but I don't really want to take a Lava Plume, so yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense as well. But now he goes to Flareon here. I'm going to go to Fearow. I felt like Fearow would be the safe thing to go to because it does outspeed his whole team, including Sork. I believe Fearow does have 15 base speed higher, so even though I'm Adamant Nature, I'll outspeed him regardless. Now, he's going to make a pretty ballsy play here. He does protect, which means that he can scout that I am going to go for the Drill Run. Then he stays in and takes the Drill Run, but I actually miss, so I guess he predicted the miss. Not exactly sure, but that was pretty brave. But now he's going to switch out to Swordsbuck, which I felt like he should have done the turn before, but yeah, I guess it worked out for him. He gets to keep his Flareon, and, you know, Swordsbuck's not going to take anything from the Drill Run. It is a ground-type move after all. So, Swordsbuck's in here. I'm kind of thinking he'll probably want to try and set up on me. And he does. He goes ahead and goes for a Swords Dance in the first turn. Not really too worried about it because I feel like Camera Up can probably take a hit. I got max HP. Camera Up is a bit of a beast. I know he can take it. Even though I am specially defensive as opposed to physical. I kind of switch between physical and special on this guy from time to time, but I figured, well, I got War Turtle as the physical, so I may as well have Camera Up as the special. It is slightly better at doing the special, and it does a pretty good job of walling anything like Zeb Striker or, you know, Electabuzz. Well, anything does a good job of walling Zeb Striker, but any kind of electric type sweeper which normally carries like, you know, Hidden Power Ice or Thunderbolt or whatever. So it's not a bad defensive Pokemon, and it does get a decent kind of defensive-ish move pool. So now he does kill me off. I'm kind of glad he goes for the Horn Leech on the first turn because it does mean that I can get off a Lava Plume and bring him down to the range where he will die to pretty much anything from Fearow, barring the Drill Run, and Absol, of course. Now I'll go for U-turn here just because it would kill off Swordsbuck, and if all else fails and he does switch, it will give me the initiative anyway. Now this is one of my favourite parts of the game. Absol comes in, and whenever you see Absol, you know he's going to do a lot of work. Absol is one of the biggest threats in this tier. I don't really see too many Absols, to be honest. I mean, the normal set you see is kind of a Swords Dance kind of thing, occasionally a Choice Scarfer, but I actually saw one specially based one once with Fire Blast. That was pretty weird, but Absol, when used in the right way, can be a massive threat. And I assume he brings in Rampardos here thinking that, you know, I wouldn't have the Sucker Punch because maybe I'm Choice Banded or something, but nope, I got the Focus Sash, which I guess does a pretty good job of, you know, bluffing the Scarf or Band or whatever. Now I'm going to switch out because, you know, number one, he probably has Metal Burst, which he does go for. Number two, I don't have Superpower, so I literally can't touch Bastiodon at all. Actually, that Absol set is completely walled by Steel types and Fighting types, so probably not the best set, but assuming you can deal with those types, it can do a lot of damage. Now I go to War Turtle here. I'm kind of worried about going for Drill Run on this guy because he does have the Metal Burst, but I figure, okay, I want some damage on this guy. I want to get a burn, at least break his sturdy so Fearow can, you know, come in and finish him. I do get the burn and a nice chunk of damage on him there with the Scald as he goes for the rocks. Works out pretty well for me because, you know, now I can just go for a Rapid Spin on the next turn as he brings in his Leafeon. Now, I really don't want Leafeon to wake up because this thing is a bit of a defensive powerhouse, so I just go to Absol to try and threaten him out, and I go for Hone Claws on the off chance he does want to stay in and try and wake up. But he does make the good play, goes back to Bastiodon. I am very scared by his Riot Shield-esque face, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out again. Bastiodon is one of those Pokemon which is a massive defensive powerhouse, but the one thing that lets it down is the typing. And Fearow, unfortunately for him, happens to have a move which is quad super effective against him, so even with that massive defense stat, he's going to be taken down by Drill Run. And you know, the fact that I've got the rocks up and his Leafeon's asleep means that I have the upper hand in this kind of situation because even if he does switch out and start, you know, predicting my moves, I will at least get some decent damage on whatever comes in, i.e. the Sork, and just, you know, Rapid Spin away his rocks and go from there pretty much. Now I bring in War Turtle to take whatever. War Turtle, like I said, pretty good Sork counter, and Although I have rest, I thought, no, there's no point in going for that. May as well just go for a Scald. Might get a burn, but probably not likely. And just, you know, die off to a Stone Edge. But now he's at a point where I can easily bring in Fearow, go for a Drill Peck, and looking at the rest of his team, he's got Sork, Leafeon, and Swordsbuck. All of them should, in theory, die to a Drill Peck. Well, no, to be honest, Leafeon probably would take a Drill Peck anyway, because that thing has like base 500 defense or something. It's pretty damn good. But I do go for a Drill Peck here. It does a pretty good chunk of damage, and it is looking to be like a 2-hit KO. But he does wake up on the next turn and go for a Protect, which means that with the Leftovers recovery, it's going to be kind of a little bit questionable as to whether or not another Drill Peck will actually kill him. Even though it does have a pretty high critical hit ratio. But I may as well stay in. There's nothing much that a defensive Leafeon can really do to Fearow anyway, so gonna go for a Drill Peck, and health is going down, and he just hangs on with a little thread of health, and a little bit unfortunate, but not as unfortunate as the crit here, which does kill off my Fearow. But it's cool, I got a backup plan. Leafeon, you may have taken out Fearow, but there's one guy who will definitely not be taken out by a Leafeon. His name's Absol. Absol being the guy who always comes in and clears up any mess that Fearow leaves. Gonna go for a Mega Horn and take out the Leafeon here. And his last remaining Pokemon is the Swordsbuck. Now, I know he could go for a Turn or Horn Leech and probably bring me down to my Sash, to be honest, but since the Sash still is intact, I can, you know, live whatever hit and just go for a Mega Horn. If it missed here and he did go for an attack, then I'd be in a bit of trouble, but I do have Sucker Punch, so I guess from that point onwards it would just be kind of a mind game, PP stalling kind of thing, but in any case, he tries to set up and I go for a Mega Horn, and that is going to take him out. So that was a really great game, Hollywood Undead. Very good game indeed. I really did think the Sork was going to cause me a lot of trouble there. But hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to check out my channel, which is in the video description, and leave a like rating. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.